Hello everyone, this is Wafula Wekati. I teach English literature and welcome to my channel. I want to talk about the review of Kcse English Paper 3 2019 and see how we can use the review to prepare our candidates better. If you're a candidate, this video may help you to prepare better for the subsequent exams, for the forthcoming Kcse if you're in Form 4, and maybe next year's exam if you are in Form 3. Before we continue, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel so that you may watch more videos and more awesome content that may help you further. Now, let's cut right to the chase. You may also want to visit wekati.blogspot.com or simply Google Wekati on Google and you'll find more awesome material that you may like. As you can see, the title says Kcse English Paper 3 Essays 2020, but this is a review of the 2019 exam. We want to see what NEC expects in Kcse English Paper 3. This video would help you actually to get maximum marks in Kcse Paper 3, and that is 60 marks. But today we are only going to focus on Blossoms of the Savannah as the compulsory set text that was tested in Kcse English 2019. We know that students continue to score low marks in this section. In imaginative composition, they score better. Last year it was the best performed question. But students had problems scoring full marks in question 2 and question 3, which is compulsory and optional text. Most students interpreted the questions as expected, so as teachers I'm sure we are doing a good job. However, the problem, why are we still having dismal results in paper 3? Because the students offer less than the examiner demands. So today we want to know what the examiner demands, so that as a student you can offer exactly what the examiner demands and make the maximum use and get a high score, the full marks that is. So in the recent past, students have grappled with the problem of interpreting the question correctly. This problem has since been solved. Now all you need to do as a student is support your correct answer with the relevant illustrations from the text in question. Now most students rely on guidebooks and their teachers' notes. Disclaimer, there is nothing wrong with this, reading guidebooks or using the teacher's notes. However, you must ensure that the guidebook you're using is of the highest quality in the market. Also, your teacher's notes are probably very good, and that's why the teacher has given the notes to you. However, the demands of the question, the demands of NEC are different from whatever you get from the notes and the guides. Now, if you only rely on guidebooks and your teacher's notes, you may lack textual details from the set books. So you must read the actual text as many times as possible. We are talking about Blossoms of the Savannah, A Doll's House, The Pearl, Memories We Lost, Inheritance, etc. Now, for critical analysis of the text, you must actually read the text and get all the details on your fingertips. Are these fingertips? So actually we need to impress that the devil is in the details. You must have details. How do you get the details? Reading the text as many times as possible. So read the text with a view of going beyond the surface value. Don't just read for enjoyment. Read as a literary critic. Go beyond the surface value. Are we together? Connect the dots and come up with a judgment or an evaluation. Did you just hear what I said? Are we together? That is a term that we like to use as teachers. Well, ask yourself these questions as you read the text. What is the purpose of studying this text? What are the values contained in the text? Can you see in the pearl that greed may be disastrous. Can you see in Blossoms of the Savannah that determination pays off? And can you see in A Doll's House that selfishness does not pay? Those are the values. Now, ask yourself, how can they be tested by NEC? Let us begin with Blossoms of the Savannah, which was the compulsory set text in 2019. This is the question. Irresponsible decisions can lead to serious consequences. Referring closely to H.R. Ole Kulet's Blossoms of the Savannah, write an essay in support of this statement. Most of you students had no problems when it came to introduction. Here you are simply supposed to demonstrate your understanding of the question by capturing both sides of the question, and that is the action and the outcome. Remember, the question has an action and an outcome, two parts: irresponsible decisions and the serious consequence. The consequence is the outcome. So the best way to do this is by paraphrasing the question, writing in your own words. If you simply define the terms, or if you simply rewrite the question, then you are most likely going to score 0 in introduction. Also, if you only capture one side of the question, either the action or the outcome, you'll only score half the marks in introduction. You do not want to lose the marks. Now, you must identify the characters that make irresponsible decisions and also show how the characters suffer serious consequences as a result of their rash decisions. The characters in question include Olekaelo, Mama Milanoi, Oloisudori, and Olarinkoi. Note, one character may make more than one irresponsible decision, and thus each decision may be treated as a separate point, but only if there is sufficient textual evidence that the unwise decision results in bad consequences. For example, Olekaelo makes two careless decisions. One, he gets involved in shady business deals with Oloisudori. You know the one, right? And he also denies Rezian and Tayo the chance to join Egerton University. These were treated as two separate points. Now, a candidate scores when they identify an unwise decision a character makes. A mere mention of the decision may earn the candidate just 1 mark out of the possible 3. So in order to score 3 out of 3 marks, you must know the events in the text. How do you know the events? Read the book as many times as you can. Read the episodes as many times as you can. Read and reread. Use the episodic approach, or use whatever approach your teacher has taught you, but read the book, the actual text, as many times as you can for you to have all the events on your fingertips. Know all the characters and the actions they are involved in. Consider the outcomes of these actions. Then the most important thing is, as you read, you must understand that the book literature teaches or highlights moral lessons or values in society. Let us look at one point, or let us break down one point from Blossoms of the Savannah, Olekaelo. So the character is Olekaelo. What irresponsible decision does he make? We are calling it the action. Olekaelo denies his daughter Rezian a chance of enrolling at Egerton University. That must come out in your point. So what is the outcome of this decision? What is the serious consequence that faces Olekaelo? Olekaelo suffers when he loses his daughter, when she runs away with the help of Olarinkoi and manages to enroll at Egerton University through the help of Minik Enengoitoi. So this is just a skeleton. You must actually address this skeleton with flesh from the book. Wow. Skeleton. Flesh. I feel like a scientist now. Note, when giving the outcome, do not simply mention the consequence. Give all the necessary details surrounding the outcome. A candidate that simply says, Olekaelo loses his daughter, is bound to lose some marks. They must include details on how it happens, when it happens, and where it happens. all those details. How, when, and where does Olekailo lose? And why are you saying that this is a serious consequence? Bring it out clearly in your own words. Now, consider the phrasing of the question. The question has a value statement and an outcome. That is the action, irresponsible decision, and the outcome, a punishment or a serious consequence. The two sides must come out clearly in the student's answer, preferably in the topic sentence. The topic sentence is simply the first sentence of each of your paragraphs. Now, after identifying the character's actions, the learner must give some background information. And what is that? If you identify the decision, Ole Sudori and Olekailo take part in business. So business is the decision that Olekailo makes. How did we get there? Give all the events that lead to this situation and all the events that later trigger that action that Olekailo takes. Taking or involving himself in business with Ole Sudori. Now, once you've done that, also talk about the background, the details on Olekailo's retrenchment from Agribix Limited and his relocation. And that's what you're talking about, the background. Then NEC expected this from you in Blossoms of the Savannah. These are the following details. These are the details that NEC expected, I beg your pardon. The rash decision, the risk involved, confrontation if any, and adequate details on the consequence, and that is the loss, pain, or suffering. How to come up with points? How do you now come up with the points? I know this is what most candidates are waiting for. Ask yourself the following questions. Which character makes an irresponsible decision? Mention the character and mention that decision in the first line. We're going to explain when we look at the example. Then also talk about the actions. What actions show this irresponsibility? Give the action and the background. Why are you saying it is an irresponsible decision? Then 3, what bad consequence the character suffers? Now, that is the second side of the question. The outcome, the action, and now we're looking at the second side, which is the outcome. You must show the action and go all the way until we see the outcome of the action for you to score full marks. Then lastly, sum up the value statement and the outcome in the last sentence. That is the clincher. Simply link the summary. The last line of your paragraph must actually summarize everything you're saying or bring out the value. Let us use this sample essay from 2019 Kcse to exemplify what we are trying to say. Irresponsible decisions can lead to serious consequences. Let me read this paragraph and explain. Olekailo makes an irresponsible decision when he engages in business with Oloisudori. That is the topic sentence. It captures the character and the decision. Business. Olekailo, business. When Olekailo is retrenched from Agribix, he chooses to relocate to Nasila, his native home, with his family. Here he opens a shop dealing in agricultural products. I am giving the details, right? His business is funded by Oloisudori. Oloisudori also helps him to secure some business contracts. He helps Olekailo to secure a 4-year contract to supply all government institutions in Nasila with agricultural inputs like fertilizer, seeds, herbicides, fungicides, etc. You see, I'm giving details. Alright, I'm giving the background. Now, the details must come out. Specific, nitty-gritty details. His mentor, Ole Supeyo, warns him against his involvement with Oloisudori. He says that Oloisudori is corrupt. He equates him to a hyena and a randy he-goat and cautions Olekailo to keep him away from his daughters. Now, you can see those details. When I say hyena, when I say randy he-goat, actually score. I mean, they help you to give specific details from the book, and it actually helps you to score. Are we together? So if you leave out the specific details and you just say he warns him, how did he warn him? He talks about randy he-goat. He talks about a hyena. That must appear in your essay for the examiner to know that indeed this candidate has read the book. Then Olekailo does not heed. He refuses to heed to that warning. Okay, yeah, so that shows that this guy is irresponsible. He has even been warned, but he goes ahead because of his greed, right? And his over ambitiousness, right? Well, let us continue. So the decision haunts him when Oloisudori asks for his daughter Rezian's hand in marriage. Rezian has to be circumcised first. Her dream is to enroll at Egerton University. You see, now there's a confrontation. You want me to get married while I want to go to university and pursue veterinary medicine. When she learns of her father's plan, she confronts him at the shop. There is a confrontation between the two of them and he slaps her. Details. Further straining their relationship, she runs to Nasila River where she contemplates suicide. Olarinkoi finds her and promises to take her to Ntare Naju to meet Aminike Nenkoitoi. Now that is the consequence. Olekailo is losing his daughter, and the details are there. Who could so Minike Nenkoitoi, who could help her pursue her education? Olekailo's rash decision. Rash means irresponsible or foolish. So Olekailo's rash decision makes him to lose his daughter. She leaves Nasila with Olarinkoi. So at this point, I want to stop our lesson here, and I will continue the same series in my next video. Maybe we can look at other books. If you have any questions, you can ask them in the comments section. Consider again subscribing to my YouTube channel so that you can get many more videos and resources. You can see when you look at that corner, there is a link. You can also click that link to watch many other videos. If you like this video, consider leaving a thumbs up. That really helps a lot so that I can know if I'm making the stuff that you guys find helpful. Thank you for watching this episode. Also consider visiting wekati.blogspot.com. I'm going to leave a link in the description where you will find many more resources that you may find helpful.